Alright, so what were we doing? We got this whole area, we got these two whole areas I have not explored. So I suppose I'll get them done later. Right, I made the ran armor, I gotta go back to the sewers. What happened to the lady here? Oh, the lady's over there. Wire timber? Can't believe I didn't grab that yet. Anyway, let's head over here and explore the sewers. Their newfangled armor. And our weight is like, it's good. 170, that's pretty good. Almost 100. Well, 95 really, but you know, same shit. If you don't recall too much. Went over here. This is where that secret door was, allowed us to inspect ourselves. I really didn't need to because I stand by my decision that I made. Maybe I could have told him that, hey, no, I'm not the chosen one, and then he'd be like, oh, well, I guess take this other thing. You'll fill a bunch of runes or something. Bruh. Bruh, what the hell? Cannot go further. It is ridiculous. I came here for no reason. I guess I gotta go back now. Alright, I guess. I'll do it. We'll go meet our good friend, what's his name? Go save Triss or help Roche recover Fortress children. Where the hell is Triss? The Witcher wanted to go to the Nilfgaardian camp and save Triss. I guess we'll go save Triss. Because like the children or whatever.
You are to guard the camp like it's the Emperor's treasure.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Let so much as a flea slip through, and you shall pay with your head.
What if you let me slip through though? Hello,
Look
Shlak.
who's here, the Rivian Witcher.
Greetings.
Our paths cross often, it seems.
Too often.
What do you seek here?
You mean who? I know you have Triss.
Triss Marigold.
In the Nilfgaardian camp? Fistek has addled your brain.
Good.
Lower your sword, son.
Uh-huh. Oh my, I'm just...
You've got cheek, Geralt.
I do have cheek.
Let's go.
Apparently. Didn't have to go
One
that
false
far.
move and your ambassador will never see Nilfgaard's son again.
My men won't let you leave here alive.
They will if you ask them to, Excellency, and I believe you will.
Reynold Eb Madsen's orders come from the Emperor himself. He'd rather die than give you Marigold.
Then he'll die.
Mark my words, you will. Unless you release me. It's not too late.
You're boring me. Pick up the pace.
Can I grab some loot?
Why do you care for that sorceress so much?
Go.
Are you in love with her? A poor choice, even for you.
That cuts no ice with me.
Yeah, I'll do whatever I want, honestly. I mean, there's a lot of men here. I could kill them all. Quite easily.
Out of the way, all of you, or the old man dies.
Hold there!
I'm not joking.
I know. And I advise you not to hesitate. Kill him. For we shan't move one bit.
Renwald!
He who brings me the Witcher's head will get the Order of Merit.
Well, let's kill them
But
all.
Ambassador Fitz-Esterland.
Your Excellency. Orders from the capital.
Oh, well, he's dead. Time to kill them all.
Now I'll have to kill you all.
Oh, yeah.
What are you waiting for? Get him!
Are you running away?
Long live the Emperor!
I'm too fast. You'll never catch me.
For the Emperor!
Ow. Nilf Guardians. Ambassador Shits Fits Onstein's second letter. Iron Ring, Orange. Because I don't want their swords for some reason. Second letter to the Emperor. To His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of Nilfgaard, Emir is private and confidential. Your Imperial Majesty, after visiting Foltest, may he rest in peace. As planned, I am now the guest of Henselt, whom I aim to present your Imperial Majesty's offer. Kedwen is a quarrelsome nation with an unreliable king and a wild nobility. Sympathies and allegiances shift time and again. Manipulating them takes no real skill. I note that Reynold Ep Maston has also taken up station in the barbarous north. I would take this occasion to express my doubt that sending him was necessary. Your Imperial Majesty knows that I do not trust a man and suspect he is hiding something from me. Your Imperial Majesty's ever faithful servant, Shallard Fitzonstein. Well, I guess he wanted to take control or something. And he did. Don't you dare crash. Swear again. I swear to God. You crash. I'll start grabbing stuff from this camp, obviously. That is why I am here. First and foremost, a witcher does anything for money. For the good old mighty oracle. There's also the sewers here. Stop this. Stop this, it's not cool. I know you gotta load everything again. It's reloading as well. It's a goddamn loading screen, man. No one told me. Alright, let's just... So Nilfgaard like hates me now, but... I don't know, I've killed enough soldiers. Of all kinds of different nations. Usually, the rulers are quite okay with me doing that. Hello. You wanna go? Oh, you wanna go? Let's go. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong button. Stab. Come on, let's go. Don't got all day. Batter. Keep trying, little guardians. Come on, I'm sure you can eventually. Wanna go? Go ahead. Try it. Crossbow action. You are literally killing yourself. Jump down. Why would I do that? When I could jump up instead. Head back down. Guardian Harpy, what the hell is that? 42 to 46 damage reduction on block and bleeding. So a very good Guardian sword. I guess they're not fully useless. They do make some good swords, apparently. Evidently. They want us to go this way. Obviously they have a marker there. But I would like to figure out what's up here first. Perhaps there are more Nilfgaardians here that I can kill. Maybe the reinforcements of and I can get to them even before.
Long live the Emperor!
The Emperor may live long. Or a bit longer, anyway. You, on the other hand, will not be so lucky. Today is the day you die. Remember, this is the right way to go. I wanted to go the wrong way. That's why I came here. Apparently, I ended up right behind them.
Did you really think you could just prance in here?
Yes.
Make the Emperor proud! Kill him!
Oh, I love this.
Die, Nordling!
No, you think your soldiers are so good?
The Imperial Army's ranks are endless!
Yeah, so are my Swedes, apparently. Keep sending them men in here. Come on, check it out. Okay, is this a video? I think you need some.
Die, dog! You're a stubborn beast, Nordling.
Send more. Send more. I roll so fast. You got nothing.
Long live the Emperor!
You got more? By emptying out your camp. You love your rings, huh? Superb Guardian boots. Oh, I 1 second. 10% from maggots, mine are better. Obviously, they are elder boots. Made for the elders. Ancient and all-powerful elders. Although they're all dead, so don't know much about how all-powerful they are, but whatever. I'm inside the heart of the camp. Oh, hello.
Congratulations, Witcher. They were my best men.
They're all dead. Choose better ones next time.
You should have picked them more carefully, or trained them better.
Or perhaps they were ready for any foe but you.
I'm too strong, huh?
Free Triss, or join them.
You amaze me. How can you risk your life for a witch?
I need her.
She has information that's very important to me.
Ah, that I understand. You're exceptionally reasonable for a Nordling.
You wanna die?
Thanks. It means a lot to hear you say that.
It should, because I in turn have information about her, which you may find interesting.
She had a
What are you
hand
talking
in the
about?
killings.
Your friend and the other witches conspired against your rulers.
Interesting.
How do you know that?
From the best possible source. She confessed.
And how did you convince her to do that?
By showing her the confessions of other lodge members.
I don't believe you.
That's irrelevant at this point. During our chat, my people managed to regroup, call for reinforcements.
Maybe now they'll start fighting like men.
Time to show you the Empire's true power.
You still think killing me is gonna work?
Surround him!
Uh-huh.
On Nilfgaard!
I start with the archers.
Long live the Emperor!
Then your combat phase guys. Then I get stuck in the middle. I cast Gwen, so you can't even hit me.
Long live the Emperor!
You bring shame to the Empire. Shield bearers, forward!
Long live the Emperor!
You stand no chance. How did this card become so important? And don't seem very strong. Honestly, the first
Die,
game I
Nordling!
an army of mutants is just insane. insanely strong. Yeah, I got magic. Ow. Goodbye. And then there was one.
Emperor, I failed you.
You have. Take the key from Atmastine's body and free Triss. Triss prison key and got in camp key, a letter. It's insanely heavy armor. What the heck is this? It's not even that good. Letter. Letter of the Emperor of Nilfgaard to Geralt of Rivia, proud and confidential. I agree with the conclusions of your reports. Fitz-Olstein has failed and we cannot allow his ineptitude to foil my plans. I hereby authorize you to resolve this problem by any means you deem fit, should such a need arise. Well, they have learned the power of a witcher. Okay. The only way to defeat me is apparently give me too much loot. Then I can't move. Then you can like kill me quite easily. Then it's quite trivial. Guardian Falconeer's Gauntlets. Fitz-Olstein the third letter. Third letter. To His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of Nilfgaard, private and confidential. Your Imperial Majesty, as your Imperial Majesty foresaw, my negotiations with Henselt proved an uphill battle. He rejected your Imperial Majesty's proposition. Furthermore, I believe the so-called Lodge will soon cease to serve our aims. For now, the headstrong sorceresses are mitigated by the actions of Witcher Geralt. But in my opinion, he knows too much already and will need to be eliminated soon. Great. Upon the conclusion of the summit in Loch Muin, I will immediately inform your Imperial Majesty of the summit's results and of the circumstances of the Witcher's death. Your Imperial Majesty's ever faithful servant, Geralt Fitz-Olstein. It didn't work out, did it? I'm carrying too much weight. Yeah, this armor is very heavy, but I'll drop some iron ore instead. That'll do it. Apparently that will not do it. I'll drop some leather too. That does it. Alright, what's this? Silver ring? Sure, I'll like junk. Fine, request cloth. Don't give me leather or iron right now, I'm not interested. Door unlocks. Yeah, this was locked. And now it is unlocked. Amethyst dust for sure. Oh, there's a stone medallion in there. Take that. You know what? 3 twine, sure. Twine is kinda useful. It's just rope, right? You need rope for a lot of things. Chest, encrusted silver ring. That sounds pretty cool, honestly. Red meteorite ore. We'll just leave that around. Ah, there she is. Well, Triss, you were hiding here at a dead end. What kind of a soldier are you, man? Kind of like a trash strategist, huh? Anyway. Hello, Triss. I told you I'd save you. Get saved, lady.
Geralt?
You kill these kings.
Didn't expect to see me.
Are you kidding? The only person you expect to see in a Nilfgaardian dungeon is the executioner.
Did they torture you?
They
Yeah.
tried various things, but they got nothing from me.
When I left Flotsam with Vernon, I somehow doubted I'd find you so soon.
I know it was hard on you. I'll never forget this, you hear? Never.
I couldn't leave you.
I'd slaughter half the Nilfgaardian army for a friend. I know you're a member of the Lodge, Triss.
How do you know of the Lodge?
Does it matter? I also know the Lodge was behind Demoven's assassination.
Geralt,
trust you.
True. I'm a member of the Lodge. Just like 8 other sorceresses. But if you think I'm responsible for the Lodge's actions, you're badly mistaken. The Lodge is a theater for 2 actresses. Sheila and Philippa have long dominated it.
To the point where you didn't know about the murder they planned?
To the point where I was no longer invited to gatherings.
Why?
They stopped trusting me.
Because you didn't agree with them?
9 women very rarely agree on anything. The actual problem was that
Tell me.
I was close to you. If Sheila fears anyone, it's Geralt of Rivia. The Lodge did everything to convince me that our relationship didn't bother them, even that it suited them. But they manipulated me. Through me, they fed you select information. Depending on the circumstances, they twisted facts.
We're still close. They could still be doing it.
Don't insult me.
I believe her.
Calm down, Triss. Reynold Ep Matson claimed otherwise, but I'll always take your word over that of some Nilfgaardian lowlifes. Now, you'll tell me everything you know. I need to learn the truth.
All existing councils of mages disintegrated after the Thaned massacre. We all acted separately. Philippa decided to create a new organization, a secret one this time. When I was sworn in, it never crossed my mind that the Lodge's plans would soon become secret to its members. As you know, Philippa's not one for minor undertakings. She presented a plan for creating a powerful state controlled by sorceresses.
Good idea, too bad it's completely unachievable. Yeah.
The best laid schemes of mages and men.
Philippa and Sheila never lacked ideas or enthusiasm.
The kings
To
don't seem
control
be
a
very
powerful
good.
state, they needed to create one first. Or find a wealthy land with a suitable political arrangement and an easily manipulated ruler. Sheila chose the Pontar Valley, Demavend, and Stennis.
I'd choose the same.
I'd choose the same if I were her. Demavend didn't have a network of spies anywhere near as good as Henselt's or Radovid's.
Nor could he count on the loyalty of such men as our dear Vernon Roach. At one of our meetings, I just asked how they imagined overthrowing Demavend. That was the last time I was invited. After Demavend's death, I became suspicious but had no evidence. Philippa brushed me off. When you went off to meet Yorveth and Sheila was busy with the Karen's carcass, I managed to scan parts of her megascope. That's when I learned that Sheila had dealings with Letho.
Why did you tell me? Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me?
I wanted to, but we never met after that. Letho must have shadowed me when I entered Sheila's room. Then he forced me to teleport us to somewhere near Vergen.
Did you talk to him?
He wasn't aggressive. In Vergen, he told me that Sheila commissioned them to assassinate Demavend. Them being the Witchers of the School of the Viper.
Yeah.
Sheila helped them prepare the assassination.
Then
I
betrayed
wonder
them.
why he told you about it.
Is that important?
Conspirators who suddenly divulge everything. I'd be suspicious.
There was some interference as we teleported to Edirn. I emerged intact, but pretty battered. I knew Philippa was in the area. I decided to go see her and lay my cards on the table.
Maybe Letho wanted just that.
I met a woman at Philippa's house. Thought she was just a servant or Philippa's lover. Before I could speak, I was overpowered by spells. I hardly expected an attack. The pain I felt as my body was compressed. It's indescribable. As if all my bones were being broken. It's even worse when you return to your true form. In
Right.
any case,
Artifact
Philippa had
possession.
no idea her lover was a Nilfgaardian spy.
Oh.
I was carried as that figurine all the way to Loch Queen. Asira decompressed me back just before they murdered her. Shillard interrogated me but learned nothing. If it wasn't for you, they'd have had me quartered. I didn't piece the puzzle together until I was here, in the dungeon. Now you know everything.
Alright. Saskia knew of the Lodge's plans.
Did Saskia know the Lodge's plans?
She didn't even know the Lodge existed. Philippa told her that the sorceresses would support an independent state in the Pontar Valley, no strings attached. A fairy tale, but Saskia bought it. Saskia backed Philippa, and the people backed Saskia.
Alright. Who ordered Foltest killed?
Who had Foltest assassinated?
I have no idea. Perhaps after Demavend's successful assassination, Sheila and Philippa decided to take the next step.
That would be stupid. Killing Demavend was a way to take control of the Pontar Valley. People would forget the regicide in a year, and the Lodge could put its plan in motion. They had to know that if Foltest died, men like Roach wouldn't rest until they learned why that had happened.
One thing is certain. Letho killed Foltest, and Sheila was working with Letho.
Yeah, what was Sheila actually doing in Flotsam?
Ever find out what Sheila was actually doing in Flotsam? I find it hard to believe she went there just to kill a monster and earn a few orans.
You're right, of course. It had something to do with Letho and the Scoia'tael.
What did she want from Yorvith?
The Scoia'tael were Saskia's trump card. I expect Sheila needed to know what the elves would do, given that a war with Henselt was practically inevitable.
Alright,
That'll have to do for now.
We'll learn more at the talks.
You're going to attend?
You have no memory of how the world worked before the Thanid massacre.
Actually, I know exactly how it worked.
That means...
We'll talk about my memory later.
All right. If the Council and Conclave still existed, kings wouldn't be assassinated and massacres would be less frequent. This is our chance to restore these institutions, and we shouldn't miss it. Normalizing relations between the rulers and the mages who advise them is our only chance for peace.
And our only chance to dismantle the Lodge.
The Lodge will disintegrate anyway. Once the kings learn it was behind the assassinations, they'll start a witch hunt. We can prevent that from happening. I'm all for punishing the guilty, but can't abide collective responsibility. I'm ready to go and reveal everything I know about Philippa Eilhart, Sheila de Tanserville, and their schemes.
Let's
These
go
two are the
then.
main ones, huh? Lead Triss out of his guardian camp. Alright, well, a lot of things have happened. Geralt took Schützfart's Ostein's prisoner with him. With a hostage like that, he hoped to force the Nilfgaardians to free Triss Merigold. The Witcher and his captive headed towards the Nilfgaardian camp. Reynold ab Matsin, commander of the Nilfgaardian Knight, showed Geralt what he thought about his trump card. He simply killed Sheila Fitzolstein. A sad end, for what else do we call the death of a man reputed to be the most cunning diplomat of his time by the hand of his countrymen? The Witcher, however, had little time to reflect on the downfall of great figures. Surrounded by the Black Ones, he fought for his life and for his freedom. And he won both. Displaying presence of mind, he searched Ap Massin's body and found a key. The sorceress was free, finally. However, there was no time for embraces, explanations, and thanks. Brave as ever, Triss helped Geralt gather his wits as they retreated, and they retreated from the enemy camp with utmost speed. So this is done. And he decided to find Triss. So, and when he was on it heart and soul. Could you imagine that he took Shillard Fitzolstein hostage? He hoped to trade him for the sorceress. Well, I've weakened all parties involved now. There's barely anybody left untouched. Eden was already weak. There's crows feasting on the corpses. As you would expect, I suppose. Can you, like, walk? Thank you.
Those Nilfgaardians, that's your work?
Yeah.
They followed their leader too blindly.
You killed them all.
They didn't slaughter themselves.
Yeah, your boyfriend's pretty strong. And some more. Not impressed? I do a lot of killing. Run along now. No one's even gonna stop me. Oh well.
We shouldn't arrive at the same time. Let's split up.
I don't want to lose you again. Yeah, she knows not to trust other people.
Triss,
Yes?
that was some mess. I wouldn't want to see you hurt like that again.
She's happy.
Don't worry, I'll manage. See you at the talks.
All right.
She's a powerful bitch. She's got this, right? Level up. Very good. Anything else? Another level up. Okay, even better. I guess I'll spend 2 points. Probably defeating. Quest complete. Where is Triss Merigold? 2500 XP. That's probably the reason I got to level up. A summit of mages. Talk to Triss before entering the amphitheater. Alone on a sorceress summit, the Witcher would feel like a raftsman on a declamation contest. What? Luckily, Triss Merigold awaited him at the amphitheater's entrance. Geralt ran his fingers through his hair, took a deep breath, and entered the meeting place at Triss's side. And we got this. Alright. Well, things are getting done. Okay, well, probably updated a bunch of things as well. Kimbold. Well, Kimbold apparently has something to do in pursuing their profession, witches meet individuals both warm and unfriendly, yet they are mostly indifferent to the types with which they must deal, since they themselves can become so unpleasant that only tax collectors and sorceresses can rival them. Be that as it may, Baron Kimbold made an extremely bad impression on Geralt. He was one of the most powerful individuals in Temeria, yet after Foltest's death, his influence grew further. He was known to deal remorselessly with any who stood in his way. The sole thing that could be said in his favor is that he supposedly adored his hunting dogs, yet he had to leave them behind when he travelled to Lochmuin, and perhaps that had made him even more discourteous than usual. Why did Geralt put up with him? Well, Kimbold apparently had something to do with the disappearance of Busi, Foltest's son. Did I say something to do with the disappearance of Busi? Forgive me the euphemism. Geralt discovered that Baron Kimbold had commissioned someone to murder Foltest's son. The Baron was intent on assuming the Temerian throne, and the boy simply stood in his way. Kimbold had planned to dispose of both the Foltest bastard and become king. His claims might have even been viewed as legitimate since he was related to Foltest in some convoluted way. The nuances escape me, though one thing is sure, he was a very distant relative. Right? Through Geralt's efforts, both Baron Kimbold and Count Maravel would answer for their iniquitous intentions and their parts in Lucy's disappearance. However, John Natalis lacked the manpower and Lochmuin to deal with them both. Thus, Kimbold's hide was saved for the time being, while the forces he commanded eagerly assisted in Count Maravel's arrest. Count Maravel belonged to that singular category of individuals who can strike a bargain with anyone, who are so pragmatic in their thinking that they can persuade, at least in part, even those most strongly opposed to their viewpoint. Maravel thoroughly enjoyed the game of Temerian politics. He was an active and reputedly highly effective player, in addition to being one of the country's most influential aristocrats. Much like Baron Kimbold, he had grand ambitions, yet he held them in check and was much more ingenious and precise in pursuing his plans. One of Maravel's more daring schemes involved kidnapping Fortress children as they traveled to Lochmuin in a convoy. I should add that the Count had reached an agreement with the Nilfgaardians, promising to deliver Busi and Anais to the Black Ones in exchange for their backing his claim to the Temerian throne, but that's not going to happen now. Though he wanted Temeria to be strong, he had committed treason. And Reynold of Matson. Just as Ambassador Shillard Fitz-Holstein was the Emperor's mouth here in the north, Reynold of Matson was his ironclad fist. One look at this stern warrior's face was enough to instill a justified respect. He and his ilk became symbols of Nilfgaardian power, with when black standards and cloaks fluttered together with the tramp of the cavalry's hooves and the clash of arms in battle. The veterans from the Imperia Brigade were famed for their fanatical loyalty to the Emperor, and Matson was no exception in that regard. He carried out his rulers' every order without question. Guided by loyalty to the same power, Reynold followed the orders he had received and sent Shillard to the beyond the blinking eye. Yet the Witcher made sure that Matson embarked upon the same journey not long after the massacre. Brigida. A none too significant figure, Brigida Papperdrock was a minor courtier who had the fortune or misfortune, depending on how one looks at it, to meet Vernon Roach. Though she lacked powerful friends, connections, and patrons, she nevertheless managed to become embroiled in matters far beyond her capabilities. Brigida would surely have become the victim of a political murder if not for the help of the Witcher, who agreed to escort her out of Lochmuin. Brigida was unique in that she was the only adult to have survived the attack on the convoy transporting Fortest's children to Lochmuin. Thus, she had witnessed the events leading to Busi's disappearance. But yeah, it doesn't matter now, right? That the Nilfgaardians can't do anything. They're all dead. Tris Marigold. Tris Nucia the Tanderville. Moira Zuba would certainly notice a chill in their greetings as well as his evident dislike of her elder colleague. Tris was kidnapped by Leto. Searching Sheila's quarters, talking to a neighbor, more questions and answers. Tris had reached Eden. There was evidence to prove it. Finding her would prove difficult, however. Yet the Witcher foiled this plan, wresting Tris from Nilfgaardian hands. I described the story's finale in one of my ballads. Omitting the carnage Geralt wrought there, however, for his part, he thinks that my version, with its colorful description of a mounted pursuit of Reynold of Matson, a limp sorceress trundled along across his saddle, is too pretentious. Witches, no sense of Lycentrica Poetica at all. Great. Vernon Roach. I kinda left him. There they split up. Vernon left to square things with Death Mold, taking into account the determination previously displayed by the commander of the Foltest Special Forces. I wouldn't have bet a wooden nickel on the magician. As it turned out, my instincts were right. Okay, so it did work out. As Geralt was sailing up the Pontar, Busi was packed up and placed in a convoy that was to take him to Lochmuin. The boy never reached the city. The rumors Geralt had heard from King Radovid proved true. Vile intentions had bred a series of unfortunate coincidences. In short, Busi was dead. That's what we think, right? We don't know for sure. Amaryl and F for a parallel world. Whatever, I don't know what of that. Join the deliberations. Well, I gotta set the sewers first. There's sewers in here that I haven't been to. Not a big fan of sewers or whatever, but you know, sometimes sewers can hold some incredible secrets, and usually, oh, okay, well, you know what? Good enough place to meditate in the sewers of a camp I just slaughtered. How about chance of bleeding plus 10%? And plus 20% bleeding and plus 5% sword damage is also pretty good. Yeah, so 20% chance of bleeding, just base, and okay, pretty good, pretty good. I like it. Keep on building up my sword. My sword skills. It's plus 5 base damage is pretty good. And obviously the bleeding helps. So I guess the sewers are not really going to be used by me, right? Can I not help him also?
I don't like it here.
Like, I know he was right here. Hello, would you let me in?
Greetings! Greetings.
Nope, alright, it's locked. But I know he went down here. Anyway, before I enter, let's trade. I've got a bunch of Nilfgaardian swords. How did I get so many Nilfgaardian swords and items just after the Nilfgaardian camp was slaughtered? It's you know, it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence for sure. Don't worry about it so much, alright? It's absolutely just a coincidence. You can have these brights. Alright, I'll keep the rest. Endriga, oh, don't need to. Troll trophy, werewolf trophy, whatever. Now we'll just look at everything by weight. 21 plots. I mean, you can have like 11 of that. Bunch of iron ore. Here you go. Bunch of leather. Don't need it. So many elemental stones. Come on now. Alright, thank you. Feeling a lot better. Feeling a lot richer too. Almost at 1,000.
Greetings. What?
He's just a guy. Honestly, he's not doing anything. He's just a guy. All right, to the summit. It's taking place right here at the amphitheater. You never know when some mushrooms could make a difference.
So, even the Nilfgaardians have graced us with their presence.
Your Excellency knows well that our hosts are libertines and eccentrics.
My dear Councillor, northern business should truly remain northern. No extravagance excuses Shillard's presence.
Oh, he's dead.
Forgive
Don't
me,
worry.
Excellency, but I must disagree. Let us be realists. The Emperor would learn of every word spoken here anyway. Knowing that, our hosts have moved forward with their famous hospitality.
Famous hospitality. Good one.
Yeah. Hello, Triss.
We're about to witness a great event.
Are you still bleeding?
Yeah, I can't wait. Let's go inside.
It's now or never.
Sure. You sure you don't want to wipe your face of the blood?
In recent weeks, we have deliberated extensively in Vizima on who is to succeed to the Temerian throne. Because the fate of Foltest's last child remains unknown, we could not reach an agreement. Unable to reconcile the interests of the esteemed Temerian houses, we have no choice but to divide the country into provinces along the barony's current borders.
This cannot be, John Natalis. Temeria stands between Nilfgaard and the north. It must be a strong and united realm.
I too would wish it so, Your Majesty. But when Foltest was cut down by an assassin, the country's very heart burst.
I have learned that Anais La Valette is currently in the hands of the sorcerer Deathmold.
Clearly you have yet to learn of the slaughter that occurred today in the Kedweni camp, King Radovid.
Yet there is hope if the child lives.
I shall do everything in my power to find her. Simultaneously, I wish to announce that the commander of the Temerian Special Forces, one Vernon Roach, is officially a wanted man. All privileges appertaining to him as an officer of the realm are hereby repealed.
Aww. He didn't succeed? I thought he did succeed. Nilfgaard will not be attending, by the way.
To the matter at hand. The document describing the charter of the Council and the Conclave is, as previously ascertained, an exact copy of the charter found in the ruins on Thanet Island. The more important question relates to the Conclave and its power to designate royal advisors. Today, randomly chosen mages and sorceresses reside at many courts. However, in the time of the previous Conclave, such persons were carefully chosen.
Why shouldn't we pick our own advisors?
These individuals bear great responsibility, Your Majesty. The Conclave needs to be certain they are competent.
And that they will keep the Conclave's interests in mind.
Obviously, sire. The Conclave's chief interest is the well-being and prosperity of the northern kingdoms. The document has been signed by every member of the Conclave we have proposed, as well as by all but one of the designated advisors. We await only Sheila de Tansarville's signature.
Without our royal seals, you shall be allowed to designate advisors to cowherds at most.
That is true, Your Majesty.
Sheila de Tansarville should never be allowed to sign this document.
Triss Merigold, you decided to join us after all.
De Tansarville has royal blood on her hands. She can't sit on the Conclave.
That is a lie.
Have you anything to support these claims, Merigold?
There are witnesses who will confirm that Sheila de Tansarville was behind the assassinations of Demavend and Foltest.
Officials of the future Council and Conclave. Sheila de Tansarville should be arrested and tried. If Triss Merigold speaks the truth, Lady de Tansarville will be condemned to death.
Order of the Flaming Rose. What are you guys doing?
Sheila de Tansarville, until Triss Merigold's charges are dismissed or refuted, you cannot sit on the Conclave.
Get out of here.
Arrest her.
Oh yeah, they are here. Back off.
You don't know the whole truth. Merigold doesn't know what she's talking about.
No, and you do. Who tell? Dragon. Oh, he Alright, that's pretty cool. Just kind of confirm your bad stuff, Sheila. Okay. Burn everything, alright? I see.
Geralt,
Enter the dragon.
we're trapped! Magic's no good here! I can't get us out! Sheila! You have to get Sheila!
Alright. Geralt ran for Sheila de Tansarville as fast as his legs would carry him. He could hear the sorceress's voice in his head, and the more she said, the more he wanted to silence her. Yet Sheila held one more trump card, the dragon. The attendees, as politicians tend to, rambled on and could not reach an agreement. The summit was not, however, boring because affairs of importance to the entire world were being discussed. I regret not being there, but Geralt forgot half the speeches and misremembered the other half. Yet no one could forget the event that interrupted the summit, for a dragon in all of its majesty appeared over the amphitheater. Chaos ruled the bleachers. Guess who had to face me? Me. Probably me. I must defeat the dragon. Ah, you guys are hiding here? Smart people, smart people. You don't mind me rocking here, yeah? I'm just gonna
Turn back while you can, Witcher.
I will not.
You can't stop me. Not you, not anyone else.
I can stop that. I'm pretty sure. Well, I got no choice.
If I have to, I will kill you.
What a thing. Now. Dragon. Done.
How do you like my dragon?
Only got one drink.
Emphasis! Kill him now! You're late. I've already managed to stabilize the portal.
You've got nowhere to run. Sooner or later, somebody will find you.
I prefer to leave on my own terms.
Where's Letho?
Synthesis will tend to him, as she will to all the fools who get a hard-on at the mere thought of burning a sorceress at the stake.
Where is he?
I don't know, fool. I've been looking for him since Foltest's assassination. Letho cheated all of us. We were deceived by his dull face and sluggish stare. Don't you understand? The Lodge sought a way to get rid of Demavend, that's true. He was a weak, volatile king. Edirn would eventually choke to death under his rule. We chose the lesser evil. He had to be eliminated, and Letho happened to be at hand.
Foltest? Henselt?
We had nothing to do with that. After assassinating Demavend, Letho used our gold and magical support to find and meet Yorveth. The elf was to help him hide until the matter blew over, or so I thought. The Lodge did not condemn Foltest to die.
Then who did?
Nilfgaard.
No.
Letho is the king of liars and emperor of traitors. From the start, he worked for the glory of the great sun and the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes. He lied to everyone. Me, Yorveth, your stupid little Triss, and you.
Got any evidence?
A moment ago, I received a message from the Lodge's agent in Sintra. The Imperial Army is on the move. They're fording the Yaruga now. Do you think the North can defend itself in the current situation? And can you count on another miracle at Brenna?
I don't know, but you made it all possible and you'll answer for that. The stigma of treason is yours for all time.
We shall see. For no one will leave this city alive. No one will tell this story. Philippa controls the dragon. As soon as I disappear, it will turn the city into a flaming tomb.
I'll just kill it again.
The dragon attacked Foltest's troops during the siege of La Valette Castle. That hardly supports your tale.
We did not control it then. We may have lost a battle, but the war is just beginning. You, however, shall not take part in it. This is your end, Witcher.
Well, I killed all of Nilfgaard's people. So,
Farewell!
Something's not
right! The diamond! Someone replace the diamond! This one's flawed! I'll be torn to bits! Geralt, remove it!
Alright,
You waited long enough. Should you survive, go south to Nilfgaard, where you'll find Yennefer of Vengerberg. Farewell, Witcher.
Oh, let me kill him. Sensitive guy. Yeah, let him live. You're not that tough. term. It's not somebody else's. Because she's probably right. She did have to kill a king. Okay. Honestly, probably the right thing to do. If you ask me. King is not so cool.
Wonder how many more will turn up.
I hope no more. What the hell? Bro, get on it. Okay, you're breathing fire. So what? Stab in the face. What the hell, man? How is a dragon hitting me? Bro. You're flying away, you piece of shit. You're almost dead. Come here and die. Oh, I got it. I'm jumping on its head. Yep. Bye. Right. Go. Oh, I'm holding on up there. Alright, we're stabbing it in the eye, huh? Dragon. Up, Geralt, up. Kill the dragon or walk away. We don't kill dragons. I walk away. The dragon can live. We don't kill dragons. It's not doing anyone any harm right now. Let it remember my mercy. Or something. Dragon heart one thing enough.
A list of the lodge's sorceresses. A list of the whores who are at this point.
What's going on here?
That's the variant. I guess. Are they all attacking each other? What the hell is going on? Alright, job's done. Doors are closed. I'm just chilling, man. Epilogue. Alright. Oh, no way back. can't make that jump. Are you crazy? Oh, boy, I can climb. Oh, hey. Hello, Triss.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I guess.
More or less.
And the dragon?
Let's say it had a hard landing, impaled itself on a tree.
Did you kill it?
It's alive. You know I don't kill dragons.
But Philippa's...
In time, we'll deal with her. You know that could be one of the last dragons alive, a noble and beautiful creature.
Let's get out of here.
I guess Letho got away.
He's waiting for you.
Waiting?
Where the Temerians made camp. Come on.
What do you mean waiting?
What do you mean waiting? How do you know?
Utter chaos broke out after the dragon attacked. I tried to reach Philippa's quarters. A terrified man approached me in one of the alleys, gave me a letter and begged me not to harm him. He said it was for you. The letter was short. I'm waiting in the Temerian camp. Letho.
What happened here while I was gone?
All the kings had many more armed men than they should have had at a peace summit. During the evacuation, several skirmishes broke out. The Kedwenis clashed with the Temerians. The Order's knights raped 2 sorceresses and killed those who dared try to help them.
Do you think the Council and Conclave will survive?
Well, they're established, and that's the only thing that prevented a wholesale massacre. Hard to say if they'll survive, but for the time being, no one's got any better ideas. Mages are part of this world, whether people like it or not. They have to have their rights, their place. Otherwise, another lodge will arise.
So I guess it became a big free-for-all, huh? What the heck is this? Go find Letho. Okay, I'm in a part where I could not go to before. But hey, we got some Breonia here. That's useful. Another dead guy. Well, save the game. Enter the dragon. Geralt spared the dragon's life, or perhaps I should say he spared Saskia, even though the sorceress may still have had a hold on her mind. In any case, it all played out in agreement with the witch's code, and it matters little if the code is a fiction or not, which forbids the slaying of sentient beasts. The dragon was not Geralt's true enemy, unlike Letho. It was with him that Geralt had a score to settle. I mean, not. I mean, he's working for the Nilfgaardians, honestly, so that's pretty bad. Carduin. After hearing the accusations against Sheila, Carduin demonstrated keen intuition and political savvy. He immediately demanded that she be removed from the conclave, thus proclaiming the newly formed institution's stance on the matter. Triss Merigold. Triss had one more part to play, and a significant one at that. Thanks to her, de Chancelle's machinations were publicly revealed. The scene, now known as Triss Merigold accuses the lone witch of Kovir, passed into history and presently is one of the more common motifs in contemporary painting. Great. Kingslayer. The Kingslayer's intricate plan was revealed too late. Letho had been working for the Nilfgaardian Empire from the very beginning. His mission to seed chaos before the Black Ones embarked upon a new war. It makes sense. Taking advantage of the ambitions of the Lodge of Sorceresses, its contacts and financial means, not to mention the support of the oblivious Coyatel partisans, Letho had eliminated 2 of the Nordling's most important monarchs, plunging the realms into chaos. And I killed the 3rd one. But you know, whatever. Now Geralt had only to confront the Kingslayer himself, so that the man could confirm or deny the witch's suspicions. Only Letho knew the truth of the backroom intrigue which had left the North running with the blood of kings. Now I shall tell you about their final meeting and its conclusion. John Natalis. It seems that every other person you meet took part in the last war against Nilfgaard. Such are these times in which we live. It's the best reminder those the best remember those who made their mark in the annals of the conflict. John Natalis, Constable of Temeria, is one such person. Supreme Commander of the cumulative forces of the North at the Battle of Brenna, Natalis fought valiantly, commanded wisely, and contributed vastly to the victory, despite being outnumbered by the enemy 2-1. And he did not rest on his laurels after the battle. Instead, he pursued the foe, routing him Nec Nutalis, Cladis, or nearly so, leaving but a few stragglers to flee beyond the Yaruga. John Natalis was honored richly for his deeds, and a square in Vizima now bears his name. After Foltest's death, Nautilus temporarily served as regent of Temeria. As a patriot and a soldier, he was the ideal apolitical candidate for the position of Interrex. These same traits, however, meant that he lacked the support of powerful nobles and thus could not speak with a united voice for Temeria as a whole. And then Sheila. Following the sorceress was no easy task. The Corvi fled for Loch Muin. The sudden failure of the megascope would have had tragic consequences, but Geralt's heart was soft. Sheila disappeared from Loch Muin and there was no further news from her. I don't know, I think we might need her somehow. I don't know. Anyway, we got some achievements as well I want to check out. So we got Bow to Death at a Winter Shrine. Winter Solstice, no? One Saint Enough. Reach the epilogue of the game. Right, that's the one I got as well. Dragonheart. Spare us, save Saskia. Sensitive Guy. Saved Sela from dying in an unstable portal. Okay, relive all of Ox's memories. Necromancer. Friend of Trolls. Do this. Try. Finish the game on Insane. Cut off tentacle using a Karen trap. I wish I had done that. Acquire a bunch of stuff. Collect torrents. Enhance abilities using mutagens. 3 riposte. Kill a foe by deflecting his own arrow at him. I mean, I did that, but apparently it didn't count. Kill 3 enemies at once performing a group finisher. Eagle Eye. Hit count achievement using ballista. Kill all trolls. Poker. Roll 5 of a kind. And 8 hidden achievements, which I can probably find out if I just... Not the secret, if you just click view global stats, you'll find all the achievements. So Troll Slayer is like a very rare one. Okay, they don't show me. Reasons of State. Kingmaker. Summer Solstice. Witch Hunter. All these ones I have not gotten. Spellbreaker, Avenger. Being Wisher, George. Guru is acquire cat level 35. Heartbreaker. Old Friends. Man of the Shadows. Successfully sneak through Radio's garden and find component. I did this, Man of the Shadows. Torn Asunder. Kill more than one opponent using a single exploding bomb. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, I'll save the game again. We're in the epilogue now. See you in the next one.